Hello. Here we go. It's the Cop-Out Podcast.
Welcome back to the Cop-Out Podcast. After, it's Mick, Matt, and it's Tim. Just lost at home to Fulham, and that's 6 at home in a row lost. Fucking getting on to 3 months since we last won a Premier League game at Anfield. Initial thoughts, Matt, on that shit?
Did you know that there's such a thing as marble races? Because I didn't before the match, and then I was that bored that I just had a scroll on Twitter, and I found some marble races, and I watched it for about a good 10 minutes. And then I switched back to the football, just looked up off my phone, and we'd still done piss all. So that's my take. Yeah,
well, Martin's just said, too predictable, easiest team in the league to play against at the moment, roll on 90th minute of game week 38. TM LFC 19, clap out.
No, okay, he can leave.
I'm not sure about that one, mate, to be honest, because fucking hell, I know I agree with you, we're absolutely shit at the minute, but fucking hell.
It's a good thing that we had a semi-decent start to the season, because genuinely this is relegation form. And if we'd started like this, if the season started as from Christmas, I'm pretty sure we'd be 20th.
Yeah, Tim, what initial thoughts on that shit of that pile of shit we just watched?
Just echo what you guys have said, really. I mean, it was more of the same, isn't it? Really, I mean, we could talk for probably about another minute and a half, and we're only going to repeat ourselves. It feels like we have been now for about 3 months.
Yeah.
Did you watch marble races as well?
I didn't. No, I wasn't really paying much attention to it at that point. You know, I kept zoning in and out of focus, and Mane comes on and he misses, and then I zone back out of focus, and then all of a sudden Mane's missing again. So it's just, it's a mess right now, isn't it? So it's tough. It's getting really, really tough to watch. It's just hard to see. I mean, listen, if we bow out the Champions League this week, then I don't even know what I'm going to do for that. I probably won't watch another game. I probably just won't. But the only thing that's keeping me interested in the season is the Champions League at the moment. So I'm glad he rested his players. I hope we see something better in midweek. I mean, we played fairly well against Leipzig the first time, so hopefully we can actually capitalize on that. But I mean, there's nothing really to talk about from today that we haven't said several times over the last few months. It's nothing different, I'm afraid.
Yeah. I'm clutching at straws, but I can think of 3 positives. And it's seriously clutching at straws. So it's Keita's performance. I think he was decent. What we were all worried about at the start of the match was the back line, and they did all right. The goal isn't even their fault, it's Mo's. And thirdly, I've lost it. Oh yeah, Fabi back in the midfield for a brief little cameo. Always nice to see. But that's about it.
That is it. And like Clinton's just said, good name, mate. Clinton Vela. I like that. Admire your courage. Not easy during these times to discuss results. Well, we've got this little WhatsApp group, and I'm just like, I can't be asked because we're on 4 minutes now, and I feel like we've done 4 minutes too long because we're just peddling the same shit, aren't we? Saying we've done the preview pod, we're like, well, this team is going to be good, fresh, and then it's just 10.
I've just thought about what I told you when we stopped recording the preview pod, and I said I expect a draw, then I expect a Fulham win, and the last thing I expect is Liverpool win. And I was watching that, and I was just like, we don't look threatening. Like, we did okay in the first half, all things considered, and then as soon as we get to the edge of the area, it's like we just forget how to play football. It just stops.
Yeah, I mean,
Sorry,
go ahead.
No, I was just going to.
I was just going to.
Go on.
You guys just did the vocal version of when you stop someone in the street and do that little dance of who's going to go first.
Yeah.
I'll have a sip of this. You go on.
Well, I was going to say the one thing is that we hit the target more than once, which was fucking brilliant to watch. I mean, listen, the one highlight we take away and you think, oh God, if only that would have gone in, was that fantastic Areola save from that Jota volley. But outside of that, it wasn't. There was nothing really to be kind of hyped about or get excited about. It was as boring as we've been for the last 3 months.
I mean, it says. There's a comment here from Martin which uses the word frustrating, and that's what it is, because there were moments in the game, and we said it on the group chat, where Keita got the ball and drove forward and he opened them up, or Jota got the ball and drove forward and opened them up, and it happened on the odd occasion, and you could see that when we're direct and when we go for it, they're there to be got at, and it happened twice.
Yep. Well, as Gavin says, I've seen a constantly to man shit quicker than we're playing at the minute. Shite. And it's true, because there was just too many. Like, Keita's come in and it was not, and like you said, Matt, that's a very minutely fucking small positive in my opinion for that game, because we needed to win that game. The way we've been playing, we needed to at least win that game, and we haven't managed to do that. So yeah, it's fucking hell. I don't even know what. Like, another small positive, we rested some players. Bobby was injured, so he didn't play. I don't know if he's going to be fit for, is it Wednesday for the Leipzig game? But I suppose let's just talk about that. I suppose, because I can't be asked talking about Fulham. It's just too depressing, and there's not much to analyse. We've, like, Mane had a good chance, hit the post. If we were banging form, that probably hits the post and goes in, doesn't it? Let's be honest. But when you're playing shite and you're not getting the rub of the green, it bounces out, and all these little bounce outs seem to go to fucking back to opposition players, which is the way it is at the moment. But Jordan, Mick will have to go back to dreaming Thiago to cheer up. I will. I'll have to dig out your video you made, Tim, of me like just dreaming about Thiago doing little fucking warm ups. But fucking hell. Let's just talk about Leipzig, fucking hell, because I don't even want to look at the league table. The league table is just, I'm just forgetting about it now. But got Leipzig on Wednesday. What would you change? Well, I was going to say what would you change? Fucking everything. But like, in terms of lineup, do you expect Fabinho to go back into defence, Matt?
I think he should play in midfield, because the only time there was a bit of bite in our midfield was in Fabinho's 15-minute cameo, and he was the only one that had the balls to put a foot in. Like, he was just chasing players and trying to tackle, and he was the only one. Everyone else was just sort of running for the sake of it. They'd catch up to their man and then just shadow him. Like, I don't want to touch the ball. I don't want to tackle him. He was the only one with a bit of bite. And what concerns me about Leipzig is that we were losing 3-0 to Barca. They came to Anfield with a full-strength squad, and we blew them off the pitch, and they looked spineless. And this team, which is not at full strength, looks absolutely spineless.
Yeah, I think
we're going to be watching this and watching the last few games and going, well, how the hell did we lose 2-0 to them? That's probably what they're thinking.
I think with the sixth position, I mean, Gini's done well in bits, hasn't he, in that, and he's filled the gap. But you need someone who's going to just take the ball, pass it, like just literally just be the little metronome, just taking it side to side. Gini, like we've said, he takes too many touches, and sometimes when you've got Keita on the ball and you want to just give it to someone who's going to run forward the ball, or just, especially when you're in that position, you can't make too many bombing runs forward, because you need to stick in where you are. And Fabinho does that. He kind of sits, doesn't he, and allows everyone around him to play. And I think that's why getting him back into midfield will be it'll be interesting to see if Klopp wants to do that for that game.
Yeah, but the issue is, if Kabak's not fit, Fab has to start at the back because there's no one else.
I know. Gavin just put a comment. I need to sell a Deadwood, Origi, Shaq, Wilson, Gruch. All got to go. Get Grealish in for me. Play him in the front three. Drop Bobby or in the midfield three. He'd be a top signing for us. He would be. But fucking hell, I can't even think that far ahead. I wish I had a fucking time machine just to literally write off this season. But
on that comment, Tim, would Grealish, if Villa get Europe, would Grealish leave Villa, being able to play Europe, to come to Liverpool, or would he stay at his boyhood club and play in Europe?
I don't actually. Oh god, I don't actually think that it would be down to him. I think it would be down to what Aston Villa would get offered. I think if you offered Aston Villa in in the region of 70, 75 million quid for him. I don't think they turn it down, to be honest. And I don't think they're going to get Europe. They're a team that's on a bit of a slide themselves, and obviously Grealish is currently injured, which isn't helping. So yeah, I see him leaving in summer. I think he'll probably end up at a bigger club, be it us or United or whoever's interested in him. I think he will move on and try and take the step up into big time football now, because I mean he's very good in the Premier League. Obviously yet to prove himself in the Champions League. So yeah, that's an interesting situation to monitor, because I mean it's certainly, I mean, between Thiago and Keita, you would have thought we'd have enough. Well, yeah, that's a good point as well. But you would have thought we'd had enough to.
I just wanted to do that while I knew he was doing that.
He's the lucky one of the three, because he didn't even watch the match.
Fucking hell! Can I swap with you, Jay, so I can just go back and erase that game from my memory?
I honestly, boys, listen, I am really sorry. One, for being late on the pod, I do apologise, but two, I've had family engagements today, and I've managed to watch bits and pieces while I was on my walk. Watched a bit of it on my phone. So carry on with the conversation. I just didn't want to let you down.
You know who I feel really bad for, actually, is the media guy at LFC, who has to now cut together a highlights package. Because how the hell are you going to do that?
Yeah.
I mean, just pick out a couple of Navigator runs, have about 8 seconds of highlights, and I think you'd probably pack it in there, wouldn't you? Really, there's nothing else to talk about.
Yeah, Luke's just put the embarrassing, gutless, spineless, no leadership, no character, no management, awful clap underwater. Now focus on CL now, surely. Yeah, well, that's got to be it, because I mean, I didn't want to do this, but let's just fucking look at the league table. We're in 7th, and all the teams around us have got 2 games in hand. So we are pretty much fucked. We are fucked. We needed to beat Chelsea, and then we got beat. We needed that was the make or break for me, that game, and that hinged on it. We needed 3 points today, which is fucking shit to say, especially after being so good over the last couple of years. It hurt even more, but Luke again.
A question for all of you, right? So our next Premier League games, I'm not even touched Leipzig. So we've got Wolves, then Arsenal, then Villa, then Leeds, then Newcastle, and then United. So where's our next win coming from?
The good thing is that them Wolves and Arsenal are both away. That is one.
Realistically, our next win we're going to get a victory. How long are we going to have to wait for a win?
First game of the 2021-22 season.
When we're invincible, hint, hint.
That's a really good point. Like that drop off that Luke was put in there, and Luke again. Like, thanks for jumping on, mate. It's so massive, that, isn't it? I mean, in terms of, don't get me wrong, we've had, you guys have spoken about it already with the injuries and that we've had this season, but 39 points worse off from winning the Premier League is such a dramatic drop, regardless of wins. You what, bud?
That's 13 wins.
Yeah, it's so, that's just so heartbreaking. It's the only word I can think of right now is it's so heartbreaking, and I'm just, yeah, all right, I'll admit, I've hardly watched any of that match today because I've had other stuff to do today. But a lot of people try to delete that from them, but it doesn't stop me from being passionate about more chance of me becoming a virgin than us. Right, I won't tell your wife that. I won't fucking tell her that.
I think comparing it to last year though, and I get what Luke's saying, but I don't think that's a fair comparison, because last year we were just unbelievably good. I mean, if we compare it to a normal season, then yeah, it's still shit. But like, I think when you look at stats like that, it's like fucking hell. But that only proves to me just how good we were last year.
Yeah, but we had between our teeth, didn't we, Mick? Because we did the year before when it was like, right, okay, well we've missed out on the league title there by a point. We were devastated. Then we came away with number 6, but we started that season against Norwich going, right, we're going to fucking win this title now. And it was that mentality where this is now our league. We've missed out by a point, now we're going to fucking do it. And the season, when you look at it, has been ruined since Van Dijk's gone out. And I don't want to pinpoint it on just that moment, but that has had the domino effect that Matt really pointed out last week, is that domino effect of losing Van Dijk and everything else just crumbling around it. And we've been so unlucky with injuries, and I don't want to blame it too much on that, because today we still had a fucking good enough team to beat Fulham. And that's what I can't understand. that team was still good enough to beat Fulham. Don't get me wrong, wasn't entirely happy with the lineup. I saw that from the pre-match show, that obviously eyebrows were raised. Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, it's bad that you rely on like one player so much, but that's what we do, and it needs to change, I suppose. But once we get him back, I don't know, boys. I don't know. I honestly don't know what to say.
I mean, we can look at it in a different way. I mean, is this the kind of sign that you can start looking at Van Dijk as the kind of like level of a Ronaldo, Messi? If Madrid had missed Ronaldo or if Barca had missed Messi, this is the kind of effect you would imagine the team would have. So can you start looking at Van Dijk as that level of player where if he's missing from a team, it completely falls apart, which we have?
Yeah, why can't we go back to that all the time? Is it too obvious? Is it too simple? Is that why? Because it's clearly it. It's not just because he's missing. It's like Jay said. It's like we've said weeks ago. It's the effect it's having everywhere else. It's not just losing one player or two players. Let's use Van Dijk and Gomez as a pair, for example. It's not just losing two. It's losing those two. Then your two midfielders that go in there. Then they get crocked. Then it's more. It's not just one player that you're bringing in someone else to replace him like for like. It's just having an effect on everything else. And I know it seems too easy, and that's why the experts on Sky Sports are looking for other reasons why Liverpool have lost faith in Klopp or whatever the fuck they want to say. But it seems too easy. But for me, genuinely, that's the issue. I feel like when he comes back and when we have everyone back and we've got the lineup that we won the league with, then you'll see a completely different Liverpool team. But to have that lineup, you need Van Dijk fit because Fabinho goes back in the midfield as a result of that. It's just, I know it's simple, but it's what I think at least.
Well, yeah. We're missing, like, we've missed loads of players as well. Like the likes of Henderson's been out a couple of times. There's been times where we're missing players and then they come back, someone else gets injured, and that's been the story of our season. And it's, yeah, well, like what Rafa's just said there. What happens if Van Dijk gets injured at the Euros if he goes?
It's not just Van Dijk. If Van Dijk gets injured at the Euros, but Gomez and Matip are fit, for example, then we should be all right. But it hasn't just been Van Dijk. Van Dijk's keyed on because he's the best one that's missing. But it's Van Dijk and everyone the fuck else that then has to cover for everyone. If he goes, but everyone else is fit, we're fine. Because Van Dijk was gone, we had everyone else, and we still were top of Christmas. Yeah. And then everything else started just shit piling.
We're just in a downward spiral, aren't we? Like we can't score a goal, and it's getting on top of us. We're then like Trent done an interview after the Chelsea game saying we're overthinking everything and we like second guessing ourselves, and that is literally like Steve Willow should put a comment there. No excuse again, boys. Injuries aside, how on earth have we dropped this far in terms of urgency, motivation, and being clinical? Fair play to Fulham, but just bewildered by all of this. Literally, that is couldn't have summed it up better, Steve, to be honest. Because like. You look at the team and you're thinking this is surely enough to beat fucking Fulham at home. Yeah, exactly. It's like Mane can't hit a barn door, albeit that, like I said, that header, if we're playing well, that goes in. And it's just like, what the fuck are we meant to do next? Like, I'm just hoping that Champions League on Wednesday gives us, even if we draw 0-0, just a bit of fucking respite, go through the next round and see what happens. Yeah, exactly. Like Gavin says, we should have played 5-5-0. Fucking hell. Jerry, what are your thoughts then on Wednesday? Let's just try and talk on that a little bit more. What type of changes would you make? Would you put? I mean, I think I asked you two guys before you jumped on. Would you put Fab back into defence or?
No, I just at this point, mate. If that first leg was 0-0, then no, I wouldn't. I'd put him at the back just for a bit of stability. But again, again, apologies, boys, if you covered this in the pre-show. I don't know what's going on with Davies. Like, what the fuck? Why wasn't he set foot near the squad? I just don't understand what's going on. Someone out there should know if he's injured or anything like that. I'm sure you'll shove it in the comments and let us know. But no, Fab's got to go back in midfield. And like Matt messaged me before saying Fab's come on and he's gone back into midfield, which was great. But I think it was a little bit, too little, too late type thing. The good news is obviously we're up in the game. We've got away goals on our side, so we can afford to make a mistake, but not too many fucking mistakes to fuck us over to knock us out the game. So for me, you've got to be playing I think Kabak's going to be back. He should be. There's been nothing to say. Well, I'm sure we'll find out in the presser on Tuesday. But for me, mate, you've got to have that solid partnership of two centre halves. Now again, I would play Phillips. He's sat right there next to me. So you make sure you play for tomorrow. This good-looking bastard up here as well. So this is this. Hang on, I'll do it. That's the that way. No, fuck off! Yeah, that's the partnership I'd have Kabak and Phillips absolutely 100% with Fabinho in the midfield, because what's the fucking worst that can happen? Yes, we've got to focus on the Champions League now because that looks like it's the only way we're going to enter the competition. But right now, boys, are we good enough to win that competition? Are we fuck? Do we really think we're getting to Istanbul? The way we're playing at the minute, fucking no chance. I'm pleased he did rest a few players because of that. It's clear that Klopp's got his focus on Wednesday. So that's right why a few people were rested. Jota obviously has not had the best game, so I've heard as well. So yeah, I just want that stability. Get these two at fucking centre half. That'll be my first fucking thing. These two at centre half and Fabinho in midfield will be a lot more confident for the rest of the season. That's damn sure.
Yeah. I thought Jota was all right. Like, he had that chance, didn't he, where their keeper saved it. I mean, he showed a bit of directness, but he's only just coming back from injury. Like, it's unfair of us. Like, I know we expect him to come back and just fucking score loads like he did, but there's only so much you can get from him. I mean, Thiago got a rest, didn't he? There's certain players that got a full rest today who can at least come back in on Wednesday and hopefully give us a bit of energy. But then I keep saying this over and over. I'm tired of saying it. That I'm just hoping that a fresh competition. Forget about the Premier League because it's fucked. I mean, on top four, I mean, not winning it because fucking hell, absolutely no chance. But yeah, Wednesday's got to be the goal now, hasn't it, Tim?
Yeah, well, at this point, I don't think you can look at this season any other way. I think you've put every ounce of effort you have, and even if it means resting players on the weekends, every weekend at this point, you do it because at the end of the day, on current form, and we have to play at home in the Premier League. We don't have to play at home in the Champions League, apparently. So fingers crossed we can keep winning. But if we're having to play at home in the Premier League, I just rest players every time we do because, to be honest, I know we all look at the lineup today and went, oh, wow, this is a bit weird. He's throwing a bunch of kids on the pitch and the second stringers. But at the end of the day, I think we would have played the first stringers. I think the result would have been exactly the same. So I don't, nothing much has changed. So, and the thing that worries me the most is that when we look back at that Leipzig game, the only reason we scored twice is because they handed us 2 goals. So true. That's the scariest thing about the game is that we if they don't make those mistakes, we don't score. So it's going to be interesting. I think that the most important thing, obviously, is not conceding early, because as soon as we concede early, Leipzig will have a wind of confidence. They'll see the way we're playing currently, and they might put 4 past us. Like you can't doubt it. They're a team that's still really, really good. I know they didn't really show it in the first leg, but this is a team that lost 5-0 at Old Trafford and then went and beat United 3-2. So, and they score in bunches. They're a talented team. Don't put it past them to come out and absolutely just blow us off the field immediately. So, does Fab go into defence? I think you probably have to, because I think Klopp will be thinking that, we need a clean sheet more than we need to control the midfield. So I don't see him going into the midfield. I'd love him to. It's just dire at this point. Like, if we win on Wednesday, it's a massive plus. Maybe we can get some back to scoring form. Maybe Mane will hit the target. Maybe Mane will kick a football when he gets crossed to him instead of just air. Maybe Salah can get back to his scoring form from earlier in the season. I preferred him today when he was playing down the middle. He looked much better than when you isolate him out on the wing and he has to go past a couple of guys. There's nothing much to say really.
Unacceptable. That's what it is. It's fucking unacceptable, regardless of what injuries you're having. The performance is shit. It's absolutely fucking shit. Every week it's shit. And for me, if I could see a little bit of fight and we're losing games and we're fucking desperate to turn these results around, I could accept it a little bit. I really could, because at least the fight's there. But it's unacceptable the way we're playing right now, and that's the be all and end all. These fucking players need a big kick up the fucking ass, and I hope they get it next week when that Champions League team plays, because That's the only chance we're going to have of any success this year. It's fucking embarrassing. And I do not want it to have this domino effect of us losing out on the Champions League, not winning number 7, and then not, it ended up in a fucking shitty European league that nobody wants to play in, and nobody will want to fucking play for us, regardless of what Klopp said the other day. If a player don't want to play in Champions League, I don't want him. Yeah, all right, Klopp, it's a nice thing to say, mate, but we need those fucking players. We can't go backwards. We cannot go backwards after being backwards for the best part of 10 years. We can't go backwards. So whatever has to happen now.
It's got to the point, right, that I'm genuinely, I don't want this to happen, but I'm genuinely concerned that they might pull the trigger on Klopp.
No!
I'm starting to get concerned because there's more and more shouts for him, and it started with the fake accounts and all that shit. Fake accounts calling for Klopp out. And today, when the banner flew over Anfield, I was genuinely concerned it was going to be a Klopp out banner. I don't want it to happen.
Do you think we're there yet? I don't think we're there yet.
I don't want it to happen, but I'm concerned that that's going to start. I just don't want it to happen, and I'm worried that it might.
It will be hard. Matt, you're absolutely spot on. A conversation will be had. It wouldn't surprise me if the owners have rang Klopp after the second home defeat and gone, mate, come on, sort it out. I dread to think what email he's going to wake up to tomorrow morning, because this is an issue. This is a fucking massive issue now, because we've still got a lot of talent in that team. And to not beat Fulham, no offence to Fulham or anything like that, but it's fucking worrying. It is really, really worrying.
If we get dumped out of Europe on Wednesday badly,
oh god,
I'm going to be shitting myself.
If that happens, then there'll be fucking questions flying around. But He's got too much credit in the bank, and like I said,
I hope he does. For me, he does.
Yeah.
The one thing I'd say about that is I don't see it happening this season. If he has a full squad next season and this continues, then the questions start getting asked.
Exactly.
Because anyone and everyone can point to the injuries and say, well, what can a manager do with that? Yeah, he's got talent in the squad, but at the same time, he's missing his Rolls Royce at the back. The front three aren't firing. He can't get on the pitch and score for them. He's setting them up in a way that he knows has worked for ages. But at the same time, I don't think you judge him off of this season. The guy's been to 2 Champions League finals, won a Premier League and was a runner-up by 1 point. I think that when you look at the last 3 years and then this year and you compare the rates of injury and stuff and then go, well, is it really him? Then you kind of got to ask yourself, it's a bit of a silly question at this point. However, if we have a full squad at the beginning of the season, Van Dijk's back, we've got Alisson in goal consistently, and all that kind of stuff, and we are the team that we always were. We stick Thiago in the middle, and we start flopping, and by Christmas we're 8th or 9th. Then we start to look at the possibility of Klopp out, and maybe the club start talking to a guy like Steven Gerrard. So
I hope so.
Because it's interesting. I don't see that any action being taken before the end of the season.
I genuinely hope so, because anyone can see that it's not his fault, right? But the owners aren't looking at Liverpool like we are at the end of the day. He's unsackable. But for them, it's business. And I'm a bit worried that they're going to see their business losing a lot of money and pull the trigger.
Yeah. Well, boys, we've done probably 28 and 47 seconds too much than we should have, to be honest. But if Tim can sort us out with some solvents, that'll make us all feel a fucking hell of a lot better. Appreciate you all jumping in. I know it's fucking hell, I didn't want to do this pod either, but you have all jumped in with some boss comments there. We've got Matt, and we've got, even though it was a shit comment, nice one for jumping in. Clinton, Rapper's pal, Matt, and Gav, Jordan talking about Thiago. Appreciate that. TZS finest. You got Tom, Luke. You got, who else have we got? Bloody hell, loads here, loads and loads. Who else was these? Willow as well. Maddest thing is, I wouldn't put it past us going very in the Champions League. Yeah, and it is mad to say that, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Mrs. Fisty's wife, I love that as well. That is funny. But yeah, finish that off. Years like all be forgotten. Absolutely. Fucking number 7. Let's go get number 7. Come on.
It'll all be forgotten.
How the narrative.
Same discussion.
how the narrative would change if we did win the Champions League this year, really.
Yeah, well, we've just got to aim for that and put all our fucking eggs in one basket now. There's fuck all else we can do, and we just need to go Wednesday. We'll be back on Tuesday to try and, after Klopp's presser, see what the fuck goes down. Wait for the dust to settle, and we go again, boys. See you in a bit.